Welcome back to the LCS, where evil geniuses take the victory over Dignitas and the head-to-head, as they are now tied together in the standings at 7-7 apiece, which is big when you take into account this kind of race for the final playoff spots. Any opportunity to own the head-to-head over another team equal to you in the standings is big.
And I like how they did it by attacking what Dig likes to do bot lane, right? So Dig actually took control of this lane off of the level 2. And this is Inspired coming around after having had an invade where he takes away River's birds and ends up getting this kill. It attacks exactly what Dignitas likes to do to win games.
Yeah, and I mean, this is just something that Inspired did. You kind of referenced it, the fact that he was able to take his Raptors and loop around. First time Hecarim was able to take Raptors, 7 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oof.
That was the third respawn because Inspired just kept going at it with the help of his mid laner. And so the enemy jungler was behind, River couldn't really do too much, and he couldn't even touch the bushes around the bot side of the map, and so that it allowed that gank to happen.
Yeah, and the pressure is the big point that you're talking about, how much they exerted their will over even the top half of the map, just getting monstrous CS leads. It was a pretty slow-paced game. There's only a handful of kills through the first, 20 minutes because EG were just naturally winning the game, and they had this 1-3-1 setup. They're picking people inside their base. It just felt like Dignitas was completely choked out.
And the reason why we showed that play specifically is because even when Dignitas were able to get a kill mid, right, onto JoJo, Inspired's already taking Herald. Like, they already have control over the rest of the map. So they're still trading objectives and ending out on top.
Yeah, it felt so bad when Dignitas finally got a play towards bot side, and you're like, hey, we got a kill, we got some, oh, we lost mid turret at the same time. Because Impact was just going around the map, essentially taking more and more and more.
You know, I recall many weeks ago a State Farm Neighborhood Tactics conducted by one Emily Rand around EG's ability to take even losing plays in the sense of losing a member on the map and find advantages elsewhere. And I think that is a lot of what you saw in this game as well. So it's good to see what has been working for them still work. And to get this game over a team close with them in the standings is important. We're still, I think, waiting for that next evolution of EG that might, catapult them into top 3, top 4 contention, where we felt like maybe they should be at the start of this split. Either way, great victory for them now at 500, 7-7 in the standings. While we ready up for the next game between FlyQuest and Golden Guardians, though, Hyze talking to Golden Guardians lost pro to pro. Take a look.
Hello everyone, I'm here again, and today we have Lost talking with us. So I have 3 different sets of clips here that I'm going to play for you, so you can feel free to take this and hit play. Here, I think if you kill the enemy Victor, it allows you to potentially win the game following that. So I want to talk to you and ask, what's going on in your head here?
We did call to go on the Victor. However, he had Zonius, so I was hesitant, kind of hesitating to dive into the back line immediately.
Right.
But it was actually the best choice no matter what, because even if he Zonius, their carries would have been really split down,
Right, because the enemy AD carries far left to right, and he's really far from you.
Yeah, and then we're gonna have a pincer on the Victor. So it was much better for me to dive immediately straight into the right side, straight down mid lane.
Got it.
And then have a really good teamfight positioning for us, and that was my bad. I definitely should have done that, and I think that was a really good angle for us to punish them.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately, actually, my ulti would have paid off had I played better at the end of the fight. However, I missed my W, and if I'd held my my W at the end of the fight, I could RW into both carries, and I would at least get 1 kill.
Right.
And our Nocturne also took the Ryze portal. We could have avoided that and secured Baron as well.
So here's another team fight. So in this scenario here, I would have personally called for a fight, because even if they take Dragon, if we get the kill or we win the team fight, it's very likely you have enough time to end because the towers are down.
But this was one of those moments where you're kind of playing the game and you have a split second call where it's hard to communicate it or make your team play around it. And that was me trying to burst Dragon, right?
Right.
And I missed
you and Pridestalkr started going for Dragon at the end,
yeah.
and then you guys messed up the burst, and then you took the fight after.
Exactly. And I think in the future, playing for the fight is much better considering how ahead we were. But I also think it's like a game of inches, because I definitely get Dragon Soul if I burst it, but it goes down to 100 HP. And
it's like 32 and then
it's like
Q
32
hit.
or something,
Yeah.
and Closer's Q hits it. So, one more auto, and we would also say that, Kai'Sa gets the Dragon Soul.
So in this last clip, obviously the game is 44 minutes and you guys are starting to feel desperate. You guys are starting making different plays. And in this game specifically, it felt like you were a bit scared and you weren't really pushing your character to the limit.
I do think I could have exerted a lot more pressure this game. And I also think a build was a big part of it.
Right.
I think me going into my LDR, selling my Dirk instead of going full AP was a really big misplay on my part this game.
I thought that build kind of sucked.
Yeah. So I would have liked if I had chosen the best build this game. And I think that would have made my gold a lot more useful in terms of how much damage I would have put out. And in this specific clip, we opt into the side lane here with both solo laners looking for a shadow play because we're definitely at this point not winning 5v5.
Yep.
This Jinx has like gotten really out of control. So is Victor, right? You know, Victor Jinx
4 or 5 items.
versus 4 or 5 items. They're really, really strong. So that's why you see like the 3-3 and the 2-2. And I think we had TPs up here. And I think as an AD carry, it would have been a really, really good call if I had strong called the TPs to come in and then I fly in and I 1-for-1 for the Jinx. Because that would be a game-winning play, right? And we definitely should have gone for that play. I see that ward above the Baron pit and right side would have been a really good chance to TP in and for me to fly in at the same time. I think there's a really good chance I make enough time where I'm even living and we kill 3. So I think it plays into both where I could definitely excel more and make more of a name, you know, show my dominance if I both improve it individually and understand other roles better. It's been too long of me not being like known as a dominant AD carry in NA, and that is something I really want to be, and it's gonna be, you know, obvious goal of mine.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to me. I know you guys had a bit of a rough week, so I really appreciate that. And that's gonna be it from us here today, everyone. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.
That Pro with High is quickly becoming one of my favorite pieces of LCS content because there are so few opportunities to get that level of detailed responses around questions that I think many of us have had while watching a number of these games. And we're going to come back and touch on a number of those points made within that specific piece. Before we do so, I want to welcome you back as Golden Guardians and FlyQuest are about to do battle for our final game of the day. But with that one note, FlyQuest as well playing remotely today. And so as we had to do before, earlier in the day, we will be building a competitive integrity delay. Before that game starts, you may be here at the desk for a couple extra minutes. Now within that, we're going back to the Golden Guardians side of things because Mark, for this entire split long, it has been a storyline that this team can build leads, damn it.
They can.
Boy, do they struggle to close them out. And we heard, I think, Lost hitting on a lot of those very same points.
Yeah, so when you look at the gold graphs for this team, a lot of them start above, you know, with the gold lead. 3 of their losses, they are winning, and then they have these catastrophic fall-offs. There's some that are, you know, some of the typical losses, but for most teams, you don't get this big lead that you then lose. So it does feel like the problem that they're running into, some of the things Lost was talking about, people who have the gold not knowing how to exert their will over the course of the game the most. That's something a lot of teams talk about when it comes to shot calling is you don't just have a dedicated shot caller, but the person with the gold needs to understand what they need to exert their will over the game. And it felt like Lost there was a little unsure about Bill, a little unsure about who he should be going in on. And that can really hamper a team when he was so much of the team's actual threat with the dive.
Yeah, just for a point of clarity on that graphic, that is only Golden Guardians losses. That's obviously why you see a lot more of them trailing down. But just looking at that graph, if the 3 lines that started
at
north of the x-axis, then it became wins, this is a totally different looking team we're talking about.
8-5.
Yeah, especially that 100 Thieves one where it was just kind of so clear when they kind of stopped sticking to this game plan of trying to spread 100 Thieves around the map. And you heard Lost talk about it in this interview, which I really liked, where he's like, you know, sometimes a lot of these come down to split-second decisions and we don't always like make the right one as a team.
Yeah, and even speaking to Olleh, he kind of makes it clear that focus and giving like a firm decision on what they want to do as a team is incredibly important. When you have a lot of people talking, especially with the leads that you have, you can do anything you want. A lot of the times is, hey, we can split with this lead, we can fight with this.
Dangerous mentality right there.
Right? It's one of those things where everybody has like a different kind of thought process or an idea how to end the game. You can lose focus. Very clearly you can lose focus and someone can die. In that 100 Thieves game, it was Licorice that started the tumble with his huge lead. That he would just go in, would get picked off, we're delayed now, and it would happen again in the game.
Well, if we're going to talk focus, let's focus in on the remaining schedules for both teams, starting with Golden Guardians.
All playoff teams aside for Immortals. That is a tough lineup. We talked about some teams having CLG and TL, but they also just have all playoff-bound teams if you look at the standings right now. They've gone through the easiest stretch of their second round robin already, and to be at 5-8, I think that's why a lot of people are disappointed a little in Golden Guardians because those were winnable games from the gold graph, and from a who you're playing perspective, you should have picked up more wins there.
At times, from the eye test, just anecdotally, you're like, I'm watching a playoff team. And then you look at the record and you're like, why are they outside of playoffs? That doesn't make a ton of sense to me, again, with the leads that they can build. Now, we hop on over to the FlyQuest side of
All
things.
winnable.
7-6. Raz, I'm sorry, what was that?
They win those.
5-0
And they
incoming.
win all of those. They can beat
Raz.
Golden Guardians, Team Liquid Who. They can take down Evil Geniuses, IMT. We just saw
Hold on.
Cloud9 lose to TSM.
So, Raz,
Yes.
how winnable are all of those games?
Incredibly winnable.
Are they so winnable that you're willing to double down on your own bet?
Hell no.
Well, then that doesn't sound very winnable to me.
Look, I am a rational person.
Because what I have here is
Get those away from
4 beautifully, freshly picked habanero peppers to follow up on your bet from earlier in this split against Jat, where you said this team will have no more than 6 losses. They are currently at 6 losses, Raz. If they drop one of the next 5, you will be partaking in one of those habaneros.
These peppers have veins in them.
For the post-game desk.
I don't want this.
Well, then you better hope
Look, they
FlyQuest
got
takes
this,
this game
guys.
today. How do they do it?
How do they do it?
Yeah.
Look, you have a stud in the bot lane called Johnsun and aphromoo that can generate you
Is that
leads
one person
early.
or two people?
Studs.
There we go.
Plural. There we go. We can add that S. We can add that S.
One
Look towards the mid lane. The S+ player in toucouille.
Yeah. Oh,
Look,
he is damn good.
There he's damn good, right? And then Josedeodo.
Are you just listing all the players
Yeah,
on
I
the
was gonna say,
team?
I think he's listening.
You're just,
I
you're just
gotta-
reading.
I gotta gas him up.
You're just reading the roster in reverse order from the bottom to the top. You
I gotta
fool.
gas him up. I'll end with Josedeodo then because his Lee Sin is going
Okay.
to kick
Okay.
them to the
I'm gonna
top
cut
of the
you off because I
standing.
feel like Emily's got something
Yeah,
real to
I
say.
actually have an
Yeah, she's
an
got a
actual
real
point.
thing to say.
Jose and toucouille working together, I think
There it
is
is.
how they win.
You're welcome, Raz,
I appreciate
for
it.
the answer to the question.
That's
Hope
an
we're all
answer. I
wrong.
just gave you 4 answers to the question.
Raz, I'll eat a habanero
You know,
with
fair
you.
enough.
Okay?
All right, it's solidarity. There are 4 people on the desk. We'll see. I'm getting the cue to hand it back over to the
hand that back to
casters.
you.
Flower, Kobe, take it away.
You guys want some habaneros?
Raz, reading the players' names is not
a
an
good start.
explanation.
That is a good start. I gotta say, if you're gonna start anywhere, make sure the roster.
Make sure you
they're
know
all
the
there.
guys playing the game.
Yeah, we couldn't start the last game because one of the seats was empty. Flowers. So,
All right. If you want to start it off, get the butts in the seats and make sure you know the names of the butts. That's what we've learned here in the pregame today. Let's
the
go ahead.
names of the butts.
Let's go ahead and jump right into the draft.
Afro's
We
not
got
amused.
Lee Sin, Lucian, and Kaisa banned away. There's the Hecarim ban, so we won't get to see that one again.
All right, all right. Jungle focus here. Okay, so Lee Sin from Golden Guardians side, really definitely going to target Jose. I mean, he has had some pop-off Lee Sin games to be sure, so I kind of like that target. Lucian did get some small buffs as well. Some of the scaling AD, the AD ratio as well, buffed up a little bit here. So some adaptation due to the new B patch as well coming through. Honestly, I for one, Flowers, every time one of these new dominant poke style builds comes up, I don't care what the champion is. I kind of like when they just get banned out. You know, it was Corki previously. Now it's Kaisa. The AP Kaisa as well. I'm happy to see her on the bench.
The super oppressive poke champions lose their luster really quickly. The first couple
real
of
quick.
games, you're like, wow, that was really cool. He shot that guy and just got rid of his whole health bar in 2 hits. But then after the 3rd or 4th game, you're like, man, these rockets are kind of BS, huh?
Yeah.
And it just loses
Get in
its
there and
shininess.
make it with your own hands. Let's see.
Yeah,
Ryze
make it with
will-
your own shiny blue magic, and Ryze is locked in to do just that.
All right, do we get another Viego as well? Ryze, remember, very flexible, can roam to side lanes later on, can catch waves, has really, really good responses to most mid lane champions, so not worried about being blind picked.
We get Zeri again. Zeri consistently avoiding bans and consistently finding herself picked. She was permabanned for so long, and now the nerfs have taken her down to that tier where it
chains
might
are
not be
off.
worth the ban, but it still feels really good to pick.
The training weights are off as well. Honestly, yeah, she might be in for another little round of nerfs.
Like I say, another little round of nerfs when we checked what the nerfs were, they nerfed everything in the kit. It's just like that,
that little
get
one.
rid of all of it.
Do
Get
it.
rid of all of it. You know what?
Meanwhile, though,
with it.
we're gonna have another similar matchup: the Jinx versus the Zeri again. Surprise,
Whoa, it's
surprise
powder
there.
from our.
Oh my God, powder! No way. All right, what do we got here? Support pickup, jungle pickup, either support or jungle should probably be priority. You can match FlyQuest jungle here. They've already got the Viego.
Yeah.
So you probably want something a little bit more early oriented if you wanted to pick that up. Pridestalkr is going to take a couple more bans if you don't lock it in here, and they blind both solos in preference of actually saving jungle support until 4 or 5. I hope they've got something spicy, Flower.
Yeah, this is very abnormal. Seeing both solo laners picked in the first half of the draft is incredibly unusual. Let's see how FlyQuest want to respond here. The Irelia is a really good pick into the Gnar. Love seeing that.
This is why it's so unusual to blind both solo laners without protection bans from blue side here. Wow, Anero's really throwing him through the loop here. The Irelia counter pick into Gnar has lots of kill threat on mini Gnar post level 6. So definitely look for Viego Irelia combinations. One thing though for Licorice, he can invest into really early armor. Definitely expect a rush for the steel caps because there is all AD so far on FlyQuest, and top jungle will for sure be AD threats. So you assume that maybe some mid lane bans at possible AP champions for toucouille would be what comes through, but you can also still flex Irelia into mid lane if you wanted to try and flex it into Ryze, which would not be smart. Keep it in the top lane there versus the Gnar where it has the kill threat.
And just like you were talking about earlier, saying, hey, Pridestalkr is going to get hit with some more bans. Sure enough, on top of those 3 jungle bans in the first half of the draft, both of FlyQuest's second half bans will be junglers as well. Diana and Nocturne taken off the table, whereas Golden Guardians are looking more towards the bottom lane. That support role, they'll ban out Renata Glass, and then Victor gets a ban to finish out that ban phase. FlyQuest, what's it gonna be here? Who are we saving last pick for? We can still pick a
mid now
laner.
for sure. Pick mid now for sure. There's zero reason to save mid. Definitely do it now. Get toucouille, some big AP threat. He's gonna be solo AP threat here into the Ryze. Now, personally, the Syndra has been used a lot into the Ryze, trying to bully early on with the extra range. Go for Q spams early. Corrupting Potion as well has been pretty popular. See if you can set up some stuns for the Viego early on. It definitely is heavily swayed by jungle pressure, though.
Yeah, 2 immobile mages, junglers are going to decide a lot.
If you use your Scatter the Weak on the Ryze to try and set something up, then you are defenseless as the Syndra, and something like a Zhao can definitely quickly punish.
Yep, Zhao, incredible early game potential, very good at ganking, and of course, quite a sponge in a team fight as well, thanks to the ultimate. So it'll be Zhao, and then the Nautilus locked in for Olleh there. So Jinx, Nautilus bottom lane, going up against Zeri, and whatever FlyQuest decides to pick as their number 5, saving aphromoo support to the very end. Is it time for a little bit more cowbell? Let's go.
The moo, let's go. All right, I'm betting that he picks the Pajama Party Alistar because that is, to my recollection, the most common after.
What are you gonna do? Are you gonna bet that the sky is blue next? Everybody plays Pajama Party.
Oh, you want to bet? I'll bet you.
What are we gonna bet?
I'll just go get one of those habaneros from Raz.
Are we betting that he is playing Pajama? Because
I'm betting that he is playing Pajama.
Well, I'm not gonna take the other thing because I also think he's playing Pajama.
Okay.
I think everybody plays Pajama. Okay, well now that we're on the same page, we can continue.
Raz can keep his peppers then.
Yeah,
I hope you're hungry, by the way, Raz.
Have a good time. It'll be great. All right, we got done talking about spicy peppers, so Kobe, transition that into spicy plays. Where's it gonna break out early? What do we want to see?
I want to see some level 1s then, baby.
Okay.
Because we've got the CC to make it happen, and Core JJ, the heart of the LCS, let's say, has been tweeting about it a lot recently too. He's like, get in there, run straight down, level 1, get a kill on the enemy Inter. You can determine.
I saw the tweet. Yeah,
who
he's like, kill the
enemy
Inter.
is. Oh, running right down, and there you go. Good thing you didn't bet, because I know aphromoo, and I know he's always gonna play
You
the
know
pajama
what
skin.
we should have done? We should have bet on the chroma.
Oh.
That's what we should have done.
Yeah, except then we would both be losers probably, because like there's a lot of chromas, and it's possible that we're both wrong.
You saying you're afraid? You ain't got confidence? I mean,
No.
just a spicy pepper.
Never.
Just a spicy pepper. I mean, if Golden
Well, we
Guardians
should've
win
done-
here, Raz is going to be eating one anyway.
We should have bet chat. We should have been like, all right, production, quick, put up a poll, see if we can bet chat. If we could bait any of the chat into betting against aphromoo with the.
But how are they going to eat the pepper?
Damn, my plan.
We can't just deliver peppers.
True. It's an honor system.
You're just trusting chat to go out and buy a hot pepper and eat it?
Twitch chat, are you honorable? You swear you're all honorable, right? Yeah, of course they are.
Yeah, they're totally.
They would
yeah.
never lie to us. To us?
Yeah, honorable
Never.
Twitch chat. Feels good, man. All right, well, Golden Guardians, they're going to go ahead and throw down a ward here nice and early,
Got
but a
him.
good clear. Nicely done from Johnsun there.
Yep.
Q auto Q.
Exactly. You can always get the wards if they're placed in front of you with Zeri. Well done, Q auto Q. Let's see what they can continue on this bottom side, though. No very deep information gained early on, so nothing really coming out of the level 1. Everybody going into defensive maneuvers and lots of defensive wards as well for FlyQuest to make sure of it.
Both of our junglers starting up on the top side here. You can see that Josedeodo will not be going for the Krugs, just going red into the chickens and then making his way towards the bottom half. So he will be in the bottom side jungle before his opponent is. Pridestalkr clearing through all of those camps as Ablazeolive loses out in the early trades against toucouille Syndra here in mid lane. Back when we saw the Syndra locked in Champion Select, for those of y'all who are paying attention to the numbers, 38% win rate right now, so not a particularly powerful pick in LCS gameplay here in Spring, but toucouille has been one of the strongest mid laners so far in this split, so I'm excited to see what he can do with it as aphromoo just gets locked down here, takes a lot of damage in the 2v2.
Level 1 Alistar has possibly the least amount of threat of a support, and so you're just kind of standing there in lane, and he takes a huge chunk of damage. So well done by Golden Guardians bottom lane. This Golden Guardians bottom lane has actually done quite well in lane phase, at least, especially Olleh. And he has created so many plays to get lost a lot of money, so he can try and transition later on into the game for this team. Their problem has been later on.
Yes.
In finishing out those games and dealing damage with that money that they earn early on. So we'll keep our sights on it. Olleh himself, though, the playmaker from the bottom lane, moves up. He slipped into the river. Brush does not land the Q, though, and it should be easy pickings there on the Scuttle Crab for Jose.
Yeah, Josedeodo can secure that crab, no problem whatsoever.
Hey, this or that. I'm on that.
Yeah, I used to be on that.
You
yeah,
were.
This
guy right here used to be on that.
There's our subliminal synergy again, as Josedeodo sticks around mid lane long enough to leech a little bit of EXP, hit level 4, and he will get to double crab this game. Yes, the EXP isn't nearly what it used to be, but that's a ton of gold in your pocket.
True. And you can just continue right up to the Krubs as well.
Yep.
Early first clear, you've got plenty of time to work with as a jungler, so very nice start here for Jose. And remember, the Irelia Gnar matchup here, yes, you know, Kumo can threaten early on, can push onto Licorice, but the real danger comes at level 6.
Right.
And trying to play off a mini Gnar timing.
The extra lockdown of the ulti, the powerful slow, combined with the burst damage means that Irelia has serious kill threat on Gnar at that point. Lands the stun there, but with bone plating proccing, he's not going to get a whole lot else after the fact. Waits for it to fall off, gets a couple of autos.
La la.
But Pridestalkr's coming up here to see if maybe anything can be done. Throws a control ward there into the brush. Sees that he's not spotted, but also sees that Kumo's not really going to give him the angle anytime soon. So Pridestalkr, right back to farming as well. He went back, he shopped, he's got a longsword and a ruby crystal. Josedeodo still has not gone to purchase.
They need red vision up here. You can tell there's a really difficult scenario for Irelia because you have to get this wave pushed in, but you can't step up until you call your jungler. So good communication here. You know, as soon as they have kind of the mistiming there for Zhao, Pridestalkr, you know, thought maybe there's a ward in here, but really he was just reacting to Gnar return damage and the timing possibility there. So well played by Kumo not to fall victim in one of the precarious positions where Irelia can get punished early on when you're trying to push your waves in like that. And he's able to wait for jungle, so Jose comes over, gives him the confidence to bounce.
Yeah, and Jose's pathing lended itself perfectly towards this, right? Because he's able to reset now. He gets that first buy. He's got the Sheen, he's got the Longsword, and he's right back onto the map as his south side camps are respawning. Pridestalkr will now be walking over a ward here in the bottom river pixel brush, so they're going to know where he's at. Golden Guardian's jungler spotted out means that people on FlyQuest in the nearby area, namely toucouille, got to be a little bit more careful. Kumo jumping in on Licorice here top lane, grabbing a bit more damage yet again, just trying to always put the fear of God in poor little Miniar.
Very interesting, too, that Pridestalkr did not switch to a sweeper on first back. He kept his trinket ward and intentionally put the extra deep defensive vision with his extra trinket ward that he kept over. So he wasn't able to sweep out the one he walked over, but does get the early side on Jose. It does get swept out, and eventually they're going to be able to retake river control here, though. The early alert does let Olleh move up with them first.
Oh, but that means aphromoo and Johnsun are going in for the 2v1 against Lost. He'll lose half his HP already. The flash and heal both used to get him away. Olleh looking to group back up here with his AD carry in bottom lane, going back in for the 2v2, but another one's happening here in the river over the Scuttle Crab. toucouille's going to be focused, tries to flash and stay alive, but he can't do it. It's first blood over to Pridestalkr, and Josedeodo's going to be next. Olleh dies in the 2v2 down in bottom lane, making a 1-for-1 across the board.
Golden Guardians win the topside river skirmish, but FlyQuest win the bottom skirmish here as Olleh steps up. When there are two separate fights like that going on, the comms on both sides are incredibly hectic.
Yep.
Because you're trying to coordinate with the other person in your skirmish, in your 2v2, while also trying to alert the bottom side that you're not actually completing on that rotation down to them. So you could tell the lines got a little crossed there. But here is that stun that interrupted the Realm Warp. That would have been bottom side dead for FlyQuest. That Realm Warp going through would have meant they make the transition. But because they interrupt it, then FlyQuest trying to chase here and make sure they don't fully collapse on bottom side leads to this situation where Olleh has now overchased because the FlyQuest and the River members forced the fight on Pridestalkr, and toucouille goes down in payment for that. So ends up being the 1-for-1. I would say it's more brutal for mid lane to die there, for toucouille to go down, than for Olleh himself, because Lost still got to finish up on the minions there, whereas toucouille here now has no flash as a Syndra, and there are roam timers for the supports.
Yeah,
both of those
buddy.
supports can make very big plays.
Nautilus and Alistar, so scary for the setup potential. And speaking of setting it up, Kumo's got the ulti, forcing the flash out of Licorice to disengage there. Without that flash, he's 100% dead. But Golden Guardians are bringing in the backup now, too. No Irelia ult available for the team fight. toucouille trying to summon up a couple of orbs to be ready here for the Unleashed power. As Ablazeolive tries to get away, Johnson's coming around from the side, and they found the enemy mid. Ablazeolive is down. Kumo's going to try to survive the wrath of Pridestalkr and Licorice. He'll get himself away. They've already secured the Herald, and Johnsun ain't done. The Zeri attacks just continue piling forward. Licorice gets away in time, but that's one kill plus the objective over to FlyQuest.
So good from FlyQuest. They go for the all-in on Licorice right before the fight. So Kumo knows, all I have to do, hit my ultimate. If that hits with the slow, you can follow up with the stun and force the flash out of Licorice. So then, Golden Guardians are sitting with a mini Gnar with no flash. So it's very dangerous for Licorice, and he's trying to charge up his rage, but the rest of FlyQuest here can easily collapse on the other three members. aphromoo starts it out, and Kumo able to save his W till later to buy the time. So they get the kill, they get the objective afterwards, and they get to reset first.
Feels good. The wave crashing into the top lane as well means that some farm is going to be lost. Lost himself will move over to pick the rest of that up. He'll get most of it, but one of those caster minions unfortunately drops to the turret. Down here in bottom lane, Kumo with 75 CS, 66 for Licorice. Licorice, as you properly predicted, goes for the steel caps as a rush. Has to make sure that he's able to get away from that Irelia when she jumps on him. Has the Executioner's calling as well to try to stop some of the healing that Kumo is able to do, but Kumo is rushing straight for the Blade of the Ruined King, which will make his all-ins that much more deadly. FlyQuest onto the first Drake of the game here, just about 10 minutes in. There will be no contest from the Golden Guardians. Infernal is the first Drake, Hextech is going to be the second, and Licorice might just be the target next. Johnsun firing that nice little laser through the wall. aphromoo goes for the headbutt pulverize, but he will not get the pulverized part as a nice disengage thanks to the Gnar ulti keeps Licorice alive.
Dude, I was living in the past there. I see this deep ward. That would have been perfect if there was unleashed teleports, but we're pre-14 here, so it's just going to be bottom side plays zoning off Licorice.
Licorice psyched him out there. Josedeodo threw out that stun, but he did not find the mark, aiming it a little bit to the right. As the turret will lose that second plate. Remember, they still have the Herald here too. If they can do another plate's worth of damage to this turret, you can summon up the Herald and knock down those last two, because you want to do something. When Jinx is left to just free farm plates off of the top lane turret, there's got to be a response elsewhere.
Yeah, and I give advantage to the team that does have Rift Herald, because that push has to be responded to. If the team with the Rift Herald can threaten on two turret taking pushes for themselves, and the secondary turret has 800 gold in it, a huge, huge reward. So you always have the upper hand as the team with the Rift Herald in pocket if you can actually get up and hit the turret. But both teams stick to the defense, and so we call off both plays on each side, not forcing it forward.
Turrets properly defended. Little bit of plate money going both ways here, but it is still just about that 1 kill lead that FlyQuest has. That's the only gold value in terms of their advantage. So things overall staying very, very close here between these two.
We are going to get another Zeri with another early Trinity Force, though. The kills going on to Johnsun, plus the extra plate money there means first spike in the game, super, super strong right now. Considering the field of everybody else, as long as he does not get, you know, like flashed on by a Blaze or something like that, Rune Prison, he's going to wreak havoc here. So FlyQuest have a very, very strong top side as they rotate Zeri up to top side to try and push there, and they're bringing their Rift Herald with them. Early swap here from FlyQuest should put them ahead in the turret taking race.
Oh, Licorice going for the Krugs there. He gets the little ones, but the big one is going to reset. Not a big deal because he's just buying time for that wave to crash anyway, and he can farm it up safely. Herald summoned up mid. Josedeodo just saying, all right, let's use this. Let's get the money. We're running out of time anyway. We can guarantee some damage on mid lane, which is a very valuable turret to take down and often one of the more difficult ones. So they'll get 3 plates there, and then they decide it's time to bail, or do they? aphromoo leading the charge, and now they're going in. Focus down onto Ablazeolive, but he's not going to die just yet. He will manage to disengage. Golden Guardians looking for their chance. Licorice has the Gnar bar. He's ready. Oh, no!
Barrel roll! Do a barrel roll into the wall!
No!
Somersault.
Licorice really wanted to be able to jump that wall and find the Mega Gnar backwards, but it's not in the cards.
It was double teleport. Ooh, from Golden Guardians. Good stopwatch here. Early stopwatch buys an extra life.
Yep. Ablazeolive getting away with that one was a bit scary, but stopwatch is very, very easy to use to properly immune the damage from Syndra's ulti. You can see as the orbs start flying, it's pretty hard to not immune it, so Ablazeolive gets away from that one, but hey, no stopwatch now.
Yep. All right. Now, moving forward on the split push, let's see. The Rift Herald being used mid did soften this one up. It's really low. Bottom side as well for Golden Guardians. There's like one more hit on this turret plate left. There's only about 20 seconds left to get it, though, so that one will not be collected by FlyQuest. Currently sitting at the Dragon lead and the 500 gold lead. Johnsun does get up to this turret, though, and with that Trinity Force, melts off another 2 turret plates in time.
Oh, there we go. Just barely getting that last one before Olleh makes his way up here. He can't get the range or the angle for the dredge line. Pridestalkr's going to grab his own blue, or is he? FlyQuest moving in with aphromoo leading the charge yet again. I love aphromoo on playmakers. I love him on engage champions. This is the dude who can make the moments happen that can break the game open. Hallowed Mist coming out, but Viego's not even bothering to go top. He's just sending out the spooky air, and aphromoo the one actually marching up there. Kumo putting the damage into this bottom lane tier 1 turret. Remember that the plates fell down just 30 seconds ago, so these are much more vulnerable than they were, and with a little bit more time, Kumo should be able to take that one down. But toucouille might just beat him to it. Lots of damage under the mid lane tier 1. Ablazeolive realm warp. Then nice flash over the Scout of the Week. And with Everfrost's lockdown, it's an easy 2v1 with Pridestalkr showing up.
Beautiful flash there from Ablaze. Once he flashes the stun and lands the root, toucouille is in the dirt, and that earns them. Could possibly be set up for both neutral objectives here. 20 seconds on toucouille. They opt for the second Rift Herald. instead of going to the bomb side of the map because they already had people in position on top side. But Licorice here in the 1v1 is going to have a visitor as well. Jose's on the way.
Kumo's ready to go. As soon as the Irelia jumps in on Mega Gnar instead of Mini Gnar, you gotta know that somebody else is hanging out looking to join the fight. Oh, the Spectral Maw just barely missing out. Josedeodo goes for the slow there on the ulti, and it's enough to keep Licorice in place for Kumo to get the kill. FlyQuest strike back.
I think it's a really, really good response here because FlyQuest can also pick up the dragon. And this is not dragon number 1. This is dragon number 2. So Golden Guardians invested off of the extra person advantage, the second Rift Trail. They had better get a lot out of this second Rift Trail. It only crashes into the turret. They don't even kill the turret. Honestly, that was Golden Guardians making a great pick on mid lane and then choosing to get second Rift Trail, giving up Dragon, giving up solo kill on the bottom side to Licorice, and giving up almost as much secondary turret damage in the aftermath anyways.
Right.
So better job by FlyQuest off of a mid lane death from them.
Really good start from Golden Guardians, but unfortunately the whole plan didn't pan out exactly as they had hoped. Kumo doing so much damage to that tier 2 in bottom lane, man, it's barely standing. Aphromoo going to walk into the brush there, but he will not stop the recall in time. That's Olleh being able to go back home, shop up, and get ready to go. Let's take another look at how the play happened in bottom lane, where Kumo knew his jungler was on the way, and it's time to jump in.
Yeah, and this is, they know they can force this because of the Golden Guardians' choice. After they pick mid, they go through that control ward and pick up the Rift Trail. So they know they're on Rift Trail. Then the Rift Trail is taken. They're like, great, nobody's coming to save Licorice then. Everybody flash forward. Everybody use everything. We are going to get this kill. And then you can still get the rewards after the kill's been taken. So they still push down on that tower and pick up the dragon, which is number 2 for them, playing this as a gold lead as well as a dragon lead. Really well done by FlyQuest. And again, this is another incredibly important game for the standings in the middle for this playoff seeding.
Well, let's see how well they can close it out, or if the Golden Guardians will be able to strike back. We are now firmly in the mid-game, which has been the weak point for Golden Guardians. We've been saying it all split, and I'm not going to stop until it changes. Golden Guardians' early games have been pretty consistently on point, but it's the mid-game where things start to fall apart. FlyQuest coming in looking for the kill onto Olleh, but they don't have the damage here just yet. Aphromoo is going to be tanking it up as Golden Guardians look to respond. Nice shutdown onto Johnsun. It's going to not just be 1, but make it 2. Kumo falls next. 3. Josedeodo's on the run. Let's keep on counting them, baby. Double kill over to Ablazeolive. 3 dead on FlyQuest. And Golden Guardians find their fight.
Okay, Golden Guardians can get all these kills, but they need to start getting objectives. Mid tower has got to die now. Ablazeolive going to try and take care of business for them, get an objective to their names. And if they can split it with Lost Tier 2, that's actually quite good. Get the Jinx in on some of this money. Opens up the map as well for the split pushing later. Gnar and Ryze both have unleashed teleports ready to use. Here's another look. They go for the pick onto Olleh, aphromoo combo into Jose's stun, but then they just don't have the extra resources there quite yet. So Olleh walks away, and then another huge stopwatch. And he draws so many spells up towards him as well. Jose has to then ult out. The Syndra stun went over towards him. So much value out of that stopwatch from Olleh. Sometimes when you get picked, you can actually still be the MVP frontline by absorbing so many abilities, so many cooldowns. And the rest of Golden Guardians, you know, stood by him and were able to defend and take down so much. I mean, Johnsun just got immediately flanked on there. Ablazeolive gave him the old combo and put that Zeri in the dirt.
Exactly. Olleh baiting everybody in, making sure FlyQuest is committed to a kill that they're not going to get, and Golden Guardians get the punish. And now, for the first time in a long time, Golden Guardians are the ones with the gold lead. No, it is not something huge. It's not something to take over the game with, but it's important because, as you already mentioned, the first couple of Drakes are in FlyQuest's pocket. Golden Guardians is going to have one of these big fights in open territory, and they need to be in a good position to fight back.
Thematically correct that the Golden Guardians have made all these good plays off of stopwatches, going golden and getting that gold lead back in their favor.
I was trying to figure out what Golden Guardians had to do with clocks.
Yeah. Well, I could see your
that was
the misdirection.
Yep.
The misdirection working out. Still though, they do have to deal with the dragon stacking from FlyQuest. They've got a minute to set up, so you've probably got another 15 seconds to finish up this secondary tower on outside. I really like this. They have plenty of time to recall now. You can reset and try and retake all of this vision leading up to the dragon through your jungle. Even though there are no wards yet, you have to assume that red side, since you've given it up to FlyQuest, could be warded. And so you'll see them group up and kind of cautiously retake position here. This is something whenever you overextend on one side of the map, you kind of make the assumption that your opponents have done the same. And of course, because it is setting up for Soul Point here, trying to rush out to early position is incredibly important. Kind of a late recall there from Ablaze, but he does have teleport, as we said, so he teleports back to secondary turret, and he'll be here for the push into the river.
Johnsun clears out those wards, but now Golden Guardians move in to retake the brush. The battle for vision begins as the Hallowed Mist comes out. Johnsun falling back now, wanting to keep himself in a safe enough spot. aphromoo goes in. Olleh's your target. No stopwatch here this time, but it's aphromoo who's gonna die first. That's not the engage they needed, and FlyQuest lose the first man of the fight. Do they want to keep going here? Olleh is very low. The remaining players of FlyQuest still have plenty of health to work with. toucouille's gonna back off, throw a couple of orbs as he does so, try to kite him out here, get some poke, equalize this as much as they can. Josedeodo, he'll bring that Drake out. Is now trying to camp the brush itself, but it's too big and it doesn't fit. Now, what's Licorice gonna do? He's got the Gnar bar charged. That could be a big game changer if he can find a multi-ulti, but nope, it won't happen. And the soul stack is stopped. Golden Guardians get their first Drake of the game.
Yeah, you see the fear effect of a Mega Gnar. All you have to do is transform. You don't get actual fear in the game, but real fear in your
Right, not the
opponents.
status ailment, but like, you're afraid.
Exactly. The reaction, the fight or flight, the adrenaline is pumping. You know,
The answer was flight.
You have to, you have to give space there. The answer was flight, so they give it up. And very good denial here from Golden Guardians because of that kill. And now they're going to get a follow-up pick onto Kumo.
Yeah, I don't really see a whole lot of ways that Kumo gets out of here, maybe. Okay. Rune Prison, Everfrost, Super Mega Death Rocket, plenty of damage. Ablazeolive, 3-1-4, 100% kill participation.
Yeah, there's no way there's a counter rush on Baron either from FlyQuest because it's still pretty early into the game and they get a pick.
Oh, Olleh going over the wall with the flash engage from the dredge line, and they force Johnsun to flash out to get to safety.
Definitely a big one here. Now that gold lead is 2,000, and since they cut off the dragon stacking for FlyQuest, Golden Guardians are retaking control of this game. You've now got super tanky Ryze. It's the 3-item power spike. The most annoying tank Ryze influence in the game is right now. This is a huge, huge power spike for Ablaze, especially because everybody except for Syndra greatly hindered in DPS with that frozen heart. So you got all these shields coming through, tons of armor. He also has exhaust. It's going to be very difficult for FlyQuest to take him down in that side lane because you're going to have to send toucouille plus multiple members to try and keep him in place. Very, very valuable tool for splitting here for Golden Guardians. To go with either a 4-1 or, since Licorice has Unleashed Teleport also on the Gnar and he has a stopwatch, they could also 1-3-1 to try and push all three. I'd be a bit scared, with Irelia there because Kumo also is a bit threatening, but definitely options are open for the Golden Guardians here. And they've got Control Ward on Baron, plus split into the 4-1 split push here. Invade on the red, though, is into some Fog of War, and aphromoo thinks better of this engage.
And I like the fact that you're bringing up all these important points about Ablazeolive, and I want to tack one on there. He has currently swapped out his teleport for an exhaust with the Summoner Spellbook. So that means if there's any sort of desynchronization with FlyQuest jumping in and trying to make these fights happen, if Kumo jumps in alone, if Jose jumps in alone, the option to exhaust them, very good. Now, aphromoo going to get jumped on. Olleh's going in for the engage, and there is no way out of that one. toucouille now trying to deal with Ablazeolive, but you just can't do it. The flash follow, and the Golden Guardians pick up 2 for free, going right back over to Baron.
Yeah, that's a beefy Ryze right there. I guess even the magic damage dealer can't handle it, Flowers. Golden Guardians are going to get the Baron, and FlyQuest have no possible response except to push on secondary turret. With 2 members down, you have to continually run from the threat of Golden Guardians. So they try and do a little drive-by here, get secondary turret in mid, and then they've got to get out of there.
this is opposite day for the Golden Guardians. A rough early game that translates into some mid-game successes, and all of a sudden they're running away with it. 4,000 gold lead, 25 minutes into the game, and they've got 2.5 minutes of Baron to make that even more.
And Baron is the dream scenario here for Ablaze now. This is super buff Ryze. Ablaze can definitely get out to that bottom lane to start split pushing. Here's another look at how they picked him off. Flowers, they don't make Alistar like they used to, okay? They
Nope.
Truly, the damage reduction is not helping in these scenarios. aphromoo is getting melted regardless of having that ultimate up.
His teamfight experience is truly unruly. There's no way for the poor cow to stay alive in the middle of everybody like that. It's like he doesn't even have an ulti at all. And now FlyQuest has to try to dig in and survive. The Golden Guardians onslaught is about to find its way to the tier 2 turrets. Ablazeolive set up here in the side lane. He knows anything less than 3 people, he can at least get away. Josedeodo's hanging around nearby, but Ryze is not afraid of the mist when the guy in the mist is just a punching bag at this point. And now the mid lane dive is coming out. Pridestalkr's gonna lead the way. Ablazeolive has made his way into the fight now as well as Everfrost finds the lockdown. It's gonna be a kill on toucouille here at the start as Kumo is down to barely any HP. Josedeodo tries to come around and cut the wave, but all he's gonna find is a bunch of rockets in the face. It's still just 1-0. Olleh is going to be taken low, but a nice CC, a nice lockdown, and another nice kill.
Is it an
Licorice
end
picks
angle?
up one. I
Barrett?
think it might just be the game. Kobe, we got a teleport coming out. Ablazeolive will be able to return with that one. There it is. Josedeodo and Kumo versus the Golden Guardians. I'm taking the Golden Guardians in this one. And Raz, I think you're about to take a bite of a habanero pepper because Golden Guardians turned this game around. They figured out the mid-game problems, and they earned their win against FlyQuest, 12-3.
You called it with the opposite day, Flowers. Golden Guardians with one of their quickest games of the split here. Ending this one out instantly off that Baron play.
Nicely done. FlyQuest was commanding a 1,500 gold lead or so for quite a while. They had those first 2 Drakes. Early game looked great for them. And then the moment that felt like it changed everything was Olleh saying, nah, I got stopwatch. And then that fight, that gave them the momentum, that gave them the ability back into the game. And when you have Ablazeolive performing like this on the Ryze with 100% kill participation, with this incredibly oppressive tanky Ryze build versus 3 auto attackers, and he's got Frozen Heart, Golden Guardians saw their path, and they walked it all the way to the Nexus.
Perfect timing. That is definitely a good rune. The ability to make a play like that, you know, has really big ripple effects because people sometimes conceptualize it as like, okay, so I won't die one time. Is that really a big deal? But if it's a perfect death right before an objective or a team fight, that means the entire thing goes the other way because you're drawing all of these cooldowns out of your opponents. It can have a much bigger impact than just, you know, 300 gold of a death, basically. It can be an entire team victory into objectives, stuff like that. So honestly, the biggest takeaway for me, though, is that they ended the game quickly.
Yes, that was so important. Making that push down mid lane, being able to go in, having the killer instinct, Ablazeolive, the Realm Warp from the Ryze. FlyQuest is looking at this saying, all right, we got to defend against these 4. Boom, tier 2 turret's already gone. He's warping into the fight. The dive comes out. They're all coordinated. They respond properly to Jose trying to cut the wave. Golden Guardians seems like they are hungry to fix these problems that have been plaguing them, and they are doing a good job with it. Now, we're going to join LeTigress and the man with the stopwatch himself, Mr. Olleh, for our Verizon post-game interview.
Thank you, Captain Flowers. It is our last Verizon post-game interview of the day. I've got Olleh here from Golden Guardians, a victory at that. Can you tell me about this game? It felt like a showdown between you and aphromoo, and who's going to get the greatest engages?
I think I don't know. I think my first death was kind of my big mistake. But I think engage, I don't know. Like I think I was not having good engage. I was just kind of bait them to engage on me, and then that goes well. I don't know. I think I didn't do well on this engage today.
Well, baiting is all part of it, right? To set up your team, maybe set them up to make some mistakes. Did you feel like it was tight then at all in the beginning based on your personal assessment?
I mean, it's like whenever I get the deep vision, especially around the dragon, I always sense that enemy support jungle try to kill me. but sometimes I don't say it. I think that's kind of bad. So today, I was thinking about Hex Flash or Stopwatch. I was like, what's better? And then, okay, today maybe they're gonna try to kill me again, so I go Stopwatch. I think that was the good, really huge part for today. Because if I didn't have Stopwatch, I would be just Inter over there in front of Dragon. So yeah.
The stopwatch to save the world, save GG.
Oh, thank you for Stopwatch. God, yeah.
Yeah, thank you for the stopwatch. All of GG being happy about that. Now, I know that it's no secret from the past weeks. GG has had a lot of really strong early games, but some difficulties in the latter portion. So besides the stopwatch, what was it that allowed Golden Guardians to power through from the start to the end of this game?
I think before our team was kind of playing individually really well. I think that's why we were winning early game super hard, but somehow the reason why we couldn't end the game as a team was just we kind of lack of the team play. We don't have that much synergy together. So I think we were kind of circus, individually, top is whoo, jungle is whoo, But I think we are kind of doing some team play together now. So yeah, I think we are getting better as a team.
Holding hands together for the victory. Your team is cracking me up, by the way, very emphatically watching the interview from the side. Yeah. But again, like a lot of the teams in your position, so much weight on all of these individual games. I believe you face Dignitas next time around. So what are you thinking going into that one? I mean, Biofrost has been doing really well from the supports position as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's our team is can beat any team, also can lose to any team. I think that's really sad part for us, but I think we need to make us really consistently, win the game. So, yeah, I think also I'm the kind of big part of the, sometimes up and down too much. So yeah, I need to work on that part. Yeah.
You say sad, but the happy moments are there too in the end.
Yeah.
And it's always such a joy getting to speak to you. Thank you for stopping by for
you.
the interview. Golden Guardians fans rejoiced in the victory that was achieved here on the stage against FlyQuest. It's time for us to round out the entirety of our Saturday in the Bud Light Breakdown.
Thank you so much, LeTigress. Golden Guardians fans can rejoice over the victory. The three of us here on the desk can rejoice because that means we're about to witness Ryze endure a whole lot of pain.
I'm excited.
A whole lot of pain, my friend. There were 5 possible games that they could have lost, and they lost the first of the 5.
Just get it out of the way.
Oh.
So, Ryze, is that, are you saying, hold on, though. Hold on. Are you positive that's a selection
That's
of
the selection.
how many
I'm
you
not
want?
choosing the freak of nature.
Because
He's
there's
been eyeing those all
really, really gorgeous one right here.
No, we're going with this
Little
one.
chonker muffin.
All right,
Okay. Fair
Get it
enough.
in.
All right,
Get it
Ryze is Ryze. What's your strategy here?
I'm just going to go at it.
Just go at it. I like it. Doesn't think. That's how he plays Rakan as well.
There you go.
Ooh, that was all right. Let's roll that highlight reel as Golden Guardians.
Give him a second. I want to see.
You want to see his face?
Yeah, I want
Maybe
this
we can
reaction.
pip his face up during the
dying,
highlight
I
reel or
think.
something like that. Is it actually that hot yet? Oh, don't you puke on my desk.
I can't tell what's real.
No, I don't know.
Yeah,
I know.
I can't
Now I'm
tell if
like,
he's hamming it
Ryze
up
is a
or
pretty
not.
good actor, as we have
Are
learned.
you gagging? No.
It's just really hot.
It's actually that hot? Wow, milk already. There's you want me to do that for you?
Help him.
The poor man.
Oh my
Do you need
god.
a water?
We have tissues too.
Little milk.
Are you?
Boom. Here you go, buddy. Get your calcium.
You got the real.
No, you can do it. I believe in you. Get a swig of that milk and let's roll that highlight reel.
think I need to
Let's relive. Let's relive the moments of Golden Guardians here because it wasn't a sure victory.
Yeah, Ryze,
Yeah.
how'd they do it?
I mean, FlyQuest was doing quite well early.
And then?
I don't know. Go. Does the pitch help?
Okay. What the hell is actually happening here? No, I can't do it.
He can't do it.
I can't do it.
He's struggling so much.
We'll help him out. Yeah. Game looked good for FlyQuest to start.
Real good.
They were making plays in the bot lane. They were making plays in the top lane. They were working together. And then when post 20 minutes, the 5v5 started coming in, it felt like that's where Golden Guardians were able to get it together, which you kind of heard Olleh talking about being the opposite of how things have been in the past.
Yeah, I also think that they were able to play around. Like when I talked about, where is it going to come from? I said Jose and toucouille because I felt like them working together is FlyQuest kind of key to success. And in this game, I actually saw Ablazeolive and Pridestalkr working better together than they have in a lot of Golden Guardians' previous games, which was really nice to see as well. I also think that it got to the point where FlyQuest couldn't do enough damage onto Olleh, who is going to be sneakily tanky, onto something like this in Zhao, who can just pop ult. I'm just watching Raz chugging milk right now.
He's legit
If you guys
downing
want
the
to know,
entire
yeah,
bottle
what's
of milk.
happening.
The crying.
Anytime I stop drinking, it's
Good.
Would you like another?
no.
We got 3 of them.
Oh, get that.
Did you like one?
Oh, I will have one.
Okay.
Raz,
You want to wait till a bit later?
I'll wait for a minute, but
Okay.
because I want the folks to be on Raz for a little
That's
bit.
true. That's true. Right?
Why won't it stop?
Deservedly
I was
so.
gonna say, I'll eat one if you want.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll get it. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Please get me another bottle of milk.
Dude, oh my goodness,
God,
the tear coming
Be
down
careful
the left,
drinking too much milk.
the left side of his face right now.
You
is
can
phenomenal.
get sick drinking too much liquid when you're overeating.
Yeah, be careful, man.
Let it
That's
sit
a
in your
lot
mouth.
of calcium intake.
Just
okay?
squish it.
Yeah.
I don't want you to have kidney stones.
He needs
Dairy,
help.
dairy's
Open that
not
too.
great
Open
for
that
that.
too.
You want me to open this one as well?
He's about to run out. He needs
my
more.
goodness.
Oh my god.
What did I sign up for? I was
So-
all for this, and now I
Would
feel
you rather be
a
Raz?
little bad for the guy. You know? Here you go. We were joking earlier about how I'm the LCS dad, and I really feel
You
like
really
I'm
are the
opening
LCS
people's
dad.
milk for them now too. This is ridiculous.
Are you chugging it? Or are you just letting it sit
No,
in your mouth?
he's letting it just like rest in his
okay,
mouth.
that's
Yeah,
a
it's just
better
the cold milk is too good. So Golden Guardians 6-8. That was another massive victory. I know we've talked plenty today about how the final 2 games had a lot of standings implications, and while maybe they're still just outside of playoff positioning, that's going to do wonders for them. For FlyQuest, this is a continuing piece of that slip, right? Where all of a sudden at 7-7, this was a team that was once in first, you know, having slid all the way down to where they are now. There's going to be some concerns about whether or not they'll even make it into that playoff picture at this point with 4 games left on the schedule, Mark.
Yeah, I think 7 wins is about like the worst that you can get in on. So if they can pick up a couple more, get close.
Then they'll, maybe push them over the top. And as we talk about the victory here for Golden Guardians, Ablazeolive was the one who picked up player of the game in that 5th and final game. Just to run through the rest, it was Closer and or Jat in game number 1. Still uncertain who was playing for them. Core JJ, Spica, and of course Inspired there in that 4th game of the day.
And I want to call out Spica because Spica is a piece of this TSM roster that we're
It was a new
looking
milk
to
delivery.
step up. You're gonna get sick from drinking
Yeah,
that much
seriously,
milk.
man, I'm worried about that.
But like in this TSM victory that none of us expected, right? Like going into this, we're just like, how did TSM win? We're like, I don't know. Seeing Spica step up, seeing Takeover and Huni playmaking with Spica was really awesome to see from TSM. Like, I'm actually really happy for those players considering all of the crap that's gone on.
Raz is so happy for TSM.
He's crying, man.
Yeah.
It's all right, dude. I mean, 3 wins. It was a big deal for them. I get it.
Fine, yeah. The noise around TSM is just so much. So the fact that the players were able to still focus on it, like still perform, I thought they were incredibly, like I talked about it during the end of the series, which was Shenyi and Spica being on point, not only just setting down vision, making it very clear what they were playing for. Like, I thought that was an exceptional game from them. And it was like very obvious, but I think they're only getting better from here, so thank God for that.
Is anybody else emotional? I'm really emotional all of a sudden.
Oh yeah,
And
showing out your acting chops.
I can't quite figure out what it is about that speech that Raz just gave. It's really pushing me, you know.
Showing
good
off.
now.
How's
Oh
it
my
doing?
God.
How are you doing now? You all right?
I'm doing well. The
You
milk
look like
helped.
you're back to normal. This is
thank-
everyday Raz right here.
Thank God for the PAs because I initially rejected the milk. I was like, Water will do it. Mm-hmm. Water didn't do it. I mean, I didn't touch it.
You
but
are
that
still
was-
crying. Don't try and tell me you're okay. You're still crying.
I mean, if a tissue paper would help me right now.
Wait, we have
We have
tissues.
tissues.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, we came prepared.
I got some tissues.
Also, Nick Fan of FlyQuest says that he's sorry and let him know if you need some milk or ice cream.
Oh, I
Shout
appreciate
out
it.
to him.
Definitely doesn't need milk, but maybe some ice cream
He's
for
the
later.
FlyQuest
got plenty
GM
of
for
that.
people that don't know. Really good guy.
All right, let's pull up the standings. As we have
Pull it
been
up.
talking about that race for playoffs, I think it's important that we check back in as often as possible. We're back into that tie for first place between Cloud9 and Team Liquid. Very importantly, they share a head-to-head. So if they remain tied, they would be playing a tiebreaker for that top spot. 100 Thieves now sole possession of 3rd before a massive tie for 4th place and the 3 final spots for playoffs. Mark, that's where I'll stop because it's Evil Geniuses who are now at that 7-7 mark. And as you mentioned, Golden Guardians just 1 game out of it.
Yep, 1 game out. They have we saw the strength of schedule, doable strength of schedule. They can make it in. They do have to play well because you can expect a lot of these teams to be playing each other, trading wins back and forth. That 7-win bar is probably going to rise over the next week and a half.
Well, we'll check back in with our predictions for the day. We obviously know how that 5th and final game went. for Raz, that is. And actually for all of you, just luckily nobody else put
We all had the same exact-
habaneros on the table. Oh, wow, actually, yeah, across the day, all three.
Yeah,
Well,
fly
I mean, I think
believers.
that that's fairly fair given our first 3 games of the day. Again, those were expected victories. So then it was really about the EG versus Golden Guardians match and the FlyQuest. You are trembling.
I don't know where the shivering's coming from,
You
but I'm
vibing?
good. I'm
Is that
good.
what's
I'm
going on?
vibing, yeah.
Vibing.
I'm vibing right now.
Raz is
Excellent
okay.
vibe.
Really cold in
He's
here.
just
Didn't we
straight
talk about
vibing.
that before?
You guys had them change the AC. No excuse. I'm actually worried about you.
No, I'm
now.
good.
No, I'm worried.
Oh, my
don't
God.
Oh
don't
my
be worried.
goodness. Okay, let's end this show for Raz. Schedule for tomorrow. It's
do we
100
get in
Thieves.
there?
It's 100 Thieves. You can get in there whenever you want,
Wanna
my
get in
friend.
there with me?
Yeah.
Underneath the graphic, divvy out the habaneros. Okay, 100 Thieves versus Evil Geniuses. Dignitas Quantum Pay versus Golden Guardians.
I'll take this
FlyQuest
one,
versus Team Liquid in the
Wanna-
3rd game of the day. CLG. You can bring us back on camera. CLG versus Cloud9 and TSM versus Immortals Progressive.
Kelsey
Cheers
going
to
up,
those
going
games
up.
that we have tomorrow.
I can't believe this.
And the 2 of them are going in. Pass that back.
No way. I mean, I got milk here.
I'm gonna give them a moment because I want to make before I do the sign off. I'm gonna give them a quick moment. You need the milk already? Oh,
No, I'm
that
good.
worries me because
I'm
you're pretty
big
good.
fan.
I was gonna say because you're pretty good with spice. So if
No,
Mark
no.
already needs,
So the
then-
reason I'm eating this is because I did my hot challenge on the dive. Raz comes on, they're talking mad smack
Yeah, I
on
did.
Twitter. And I'm like, I'm gonna do your challenge. I'm gonna look you in the eye without tearing up.
You're tearing up.
A little bit. I'm doing better than you. You died. You died.
I did die.
It's the breathing in that's killing me. I shouldn't have started monologuing.
Yeah, it's really tough.
I'm good though.
it just went up into my nose.
See?
Oh, that's unlucky.
Yeah, this is brutal. Okay,
I'm fine though.
while I can still speak,
Oh, I got the heat hiccups.
I'll say that's gonna do it for us here.
Yeah?
I'm gonna swallow.
Okay.
So now on behalf of myself, the casters, the entire live broadcast crew, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you tomorrow for more LCS. Until then, stay healthy, stay safe, and be good to each other. Good night.
Good night.
Woo!
Oh my God. Okay, I apologize, Mark. You tanked it. You tanked it.
I've done a few of these now. I've lost a lot of bets.
Yeah.
I am here by myself, as you can see, here to cast some League of Legends.
We got the chaos from the back line. Immortals turns tail to run, and 100 Thieves come to take a whole lot more. Without legs, you're not getting away.
Meowsen. 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 It's kind of close, yeah. It's kind of close. It's legit too close. Meowsen. Meow, meow.
Rocket Slayer is a lot of damage. A flash for safety. Here comes TF. He's going to flash the stun.
that's it.
The last auto gets him, but Everfrost should be enough. Shen's coming. Shen's coming.
Oh!
The shield's too much. Woo!
We keep going, we keep going.
Yeah, they're all dead, they're all dead.
Yeah. Killer instinct, baby. The killer instinct is back.
That
was really good in game. Nice. Good
Summit tries to get away. He's down to 100 HP. And Tactical is going crazy into the back line. He will finally fall, but Cloud9 is disintegrating. TSM just straight up beat him in the 5v5. We've got letters.
Signs are good.
Letters
Pictures
are cool.
Pictures are even better than letters.
Exactly. Books with more pictures are better, and signs are like books because you read them.
Yeah, I'm control mid. We are looking at it. Jodo is giga smurfing. I'm coming. I'm coming here. Behind. Thank you, Jodo.
Impacts in the middle with the Endless Rage locked and loaded and ready to go. Vulcan walks into the fountain, doesn't matter a whole lot. The Nexus goes down and EG get their win. Golden Guardians look to respond. Nice shutdown onto Johnsun. It's going to not just be one, but make it 2. Kumo falls next. Josedeodo's on the run. Let's keep on counting them, baby. Double kill over to Ablazeolive. 3 dead on FlyQuest. And Golden Guardians find their fight.